Colombia. Colombia is a land of contrasts. Many beautiful and awful things taking place in it. People are good-natured, but poor. As often happens in any place in the world, poverty opens the door to crime and diminishes the value of human life, of human dignity. Nevertheless, something is changing, thanks to the efforts made by people from all over the world, as well from Colombia itself, the consciousness that poverty is not the origin of Colombia's problems, but a product of them. While Colombian people are poor, the country is not. Colombia is a rich country with very high levels of poverty. Why is that? As always, there are many causes that can explain that. But probably the main is the lack of a proper education at any degree, even if there is plenty of schools and universities all over the Colombian territory. If education is poor, people can't reach the expected skills to have a good job in any area. If people can have a good job, they won't be able to have a decent life, simply as that. But there is more about it. If education is poor, people won't be able to think about themselves as a part of a real community, because high social values and behaviors are something that we as human beings must learn, meaning that someone must teach them to us. History shows how democracy is possible only if people have enough self-consciousness and education to understand it and practice it. Even if in Colombia there are many good teachers who honestly give to their students their best, the education system appears to be insufficient. Besides, globalization hasn't helped at all, because in Colombia, as in many other cases, just broke the fragile balance of economy, culture and the society itself. As a matter of fact, we could say that for many people, Internet came before a regular supply of drinkable water and the availability of good books as well. So, if a poor education causes so many problems, a good one should be able to prevent them at least. Next problem is to define what really means a good education and when it should start taking place in the life of people. The main difference between a human being and a machine is probably that any device works exactly in the same way when it's brand new as in its last moment before it definitely crashes. Of course, it may stop working anytime due to fixable problems, as a human being. While a person learns, and more knowledge he or she gets, more skills and abilities he or she will be able to obtain, which will be themselves the basis to further knowledge, and this process keeps taking place all his or her life long. So we are changing, evolving every moment of our lives. Nevertheless, any person builds the nucleus of his or her personality just during the earlier years of life, which means that early childhood is the most important period for education, if we conceive it not as an amount of single data that have not a close relationship among them, but from a global, holistic point of view. In other words, education should draw a clear path for the human being during the early childhood, because if the world needs more responsible, peaceful, productive and reflexive citizens, it's in early childhood where those seeds have to be planted. Of course, this task is traditionally assigned to religions. But the problem is that religions teach rules, not capacities, and these rules can be good or not, but they cannot really build personalities, while education can. And that's why the education, even when it's inspired by religion, should be always light and holistic as well.